Doom Scroll 5. Let's have a look at today's events. I'm just now opening up, catching up, no telling what's happening. I might be horrified by some sort of happening. I still don't understand what started this trend of putting tomatoes on sandwiches. It's completely nonsensical. I'm not even a huge mustard guy, but I can make sense of mustard. But tomatoes? What is the origin of this? Was this a plot from Big Tomato? Make it make sense. Jesse Kelly. He's got a hamburger recipe I tried to make once and failed miserably. Robert F. Kennedy. This tweet risks being reported and restricted, but I see a necessity to say it. Our real enemy isn't Russia or Ukraine. It's not even China. It's the ones who induced and tried to perpetuate war so they can launder billions of dollars. This is true. It's these guys that once they figured out they had their hands on the controls, ran with it, and without the mechanism in place to make them pay for it and punish them for it, if that doesn't gel in some way, I guess they'll be right back at it. And they propagandized us, poisoned our people. They're the same group of people. Yes, there is a group of people that get together and decide who gets the cream, to the extent that the cream that is generated by corruption. Yeah. By virtue of the fact that, look, everyone has to be kept in the dark about how we're getting this stream. And so that unifies you. I mean, you become a thing, an organization, a conspiracy. Look, Matt Walsh, look, I'm no Lord of the Rings expert, but I'm pretty sure that Gondor did in fact get a king. And that's why the third book is called Return of the King. That's right. Joanne Reed had some sort of, what did she say? Gondor has no king. That's one dramatic line that needs context. Who's watching? I haven't watched the Oscars. Who's watching this shit show tonight? Juanita Broderick asks. And I haven't watched it since Brando had his Oscar received for him by Little Feather. That's a long, long time ago. Elon, he says the EU leaders and Zelensky having fancy dinners while men die in trenches. I guess they do have trench warfare. How many parents will never see their sons again? How many children will never see their father? That's true. That's a nice little cartoon. Just all the fallen pieces on that table and the royalty, the elites dining offsite. This is pretty good. Doge is coming after people that owe Columbia House for cassettes. UK PM Keir Starmer. Boy, how'd they get the guy with such a German name heading up things in England? They're going to create their own ceasefire plan. They're bringing it straight to the U.S. Translation: Europe is done waiting for Trump's clown show. They're handling it themselves. Now what they're doing is realizing, well, they look at Zelensky and look down at him and say, just how much is this guy worth? And then they give him a loan for a couple of billion and say, I would really like a little better security with this loan. Then they realize the whole game is about to go out the window, and so they start trying to save face. Razor Fist says, no great man is coming to save you because great movements go out ahead of great men. The latter inherits and weaponizes the former. Without an ideological vanguard, your great man is either shrieking into the void or defecating in a prison cell. Okay. Imagine being this person, like Philpott. Zelensky meeting King Charles is the biggest kick in the balls Trump could receive after yesterday's disgrace. Well played, UK. And this is supposedly a good skit. I'm going to open that on another page so I can check it out later. It's called Couple of Beers, apparently. It's making fun of pharma, kind of, because they've got a prescription for a couple of beers. Who was the first female host of the Oscars? My grandmama, Agnes Moorehead. How about that? Yeah, she was one of the Mercury players for Orson Welles. Might have been there to hand out Oscars for Citizen Kane. Steve Inman, he shows kind of like Fight Club videos a lot, or closed circuit videos of mayhem. I don't care if you're black, yellow, white, brown, gay, trans, blah, blah, blah. Everyone from all walks in life gets roasted equally here. If it bothers you, I'm sorry. Your parents raised such a bitch. Wait, the Oscars are tonight? Kevin Sorbo, Hercules. That guy is a interesting voice. He's smart. He's one of these guys that has lived, compared to a guy like me, he's lived 10 lives. When he was in his heyday, he was running around being male model on a globetrotting kind of basis. He was just all over the place, saw everything. The quartering. Did people think once Trump got in that I and anyone else who isn't a paid shill were going to just never be critical of his administration? If you find yourself making excuses for Pam Bondi or, frankly, Kash Patel at this point, your criticism of the previous admin is moot. Yeah, well, they kind of need some excuses, though, because, you just don't turn on a dime and shake something like the FBI up. They're entrenched. It's a difficult task. So, yeah, you go ahead and criticize them, but encourage them to stay at it, because it's going to be a hard job. Ezra Levant says, I don't understand. Starmer says he'll put boots on the ground and planes in the air in Ukraine. Moments later, he says he'll only do so with strong U.S. backing. But Trump has already ruled out U.S. troops in Ukraine. He's their version of Gavin Newsom. Thinks he can say anything, almost like there you go. There's your soundbite. Adam Carolla in Monterey. Let's see what this reminded me of. He got billed before the great Jerry Seinfeld. Let's see what it reminded him of. I can't see the other one. Okay, he's on top. Seinfeld still making around, still doing his almost like open mic night. Puppet show and Spinal Tap. Yeah, I haven't watched Spinal Tap since I saw it the one time. Funny movie at the time. I guess some people watch it a lot. 90s kids love Calvinism. If he went into humor strips. Calvinism, that's where not much you can do about your fate on earth, I think, if I understand Calvinism right. Whatever God is planned, whatever being God, what you're seeing as your life is kind of planned by the second. It'd be kind of like being that theory of being a simulation, though. I don't know. They're very close. Megyn Kelly, last month on CNN's YouTube feed, they had 155 million views, and we had 147 million views. Just me and my 6 producers versus every single show on CNN. This month of November, I beat all of them. Yeah, thank God there's an alternate media. Thank God we're looking at it right here, this X, actual free speech. My biggest takeaway from today's events in London is that the U.S. should leave NATO immediately. We gain nothing from NATO, but we lose trillions of dollars. And we risk full-scale World War III by being in a defense alliance with these warmongers. These, here you got a big dose of the reality of what it is with this big group of people that more than likely are like that cartoon at the table, enjoying the goods, but letting everybody die around them. Just as an engine, it's just a little bit of tune-up they do, a little oil to the cogs of moving the machine around. Cat Turd says, I like gas engines, not an electric car guy at all, but I'd now consider buying a Cybertruck just to support Elon Musk for everything he's doing and sacrificing. He is out there on another level in terms of like saying, let's go this way. This is the way my intellect and my heart says to go. And he just goes that way. The Washington Times, Bezos, Democrat Senator Richard Durbin, Ronald Reagan, and John McCain are rolling over in their graves. I hope so. I hope they're rolling over in their graves. Look who he's listed. Oh, well, not Ronald Reagan. I lived in Simi Valley, and I've been to Ronald Reagan's museum. How many times? I don't know. 2 at least. It's a groovy place. Netanyahu charging me with war crimes in Gaza is like charging George Bush for 9/11. Hit 1,000 days sober from heroin. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm starting to duplicate. Doge has canceled a $52 million payment to the world, the WEF. For those who are unaware, the WEF is basically a bunch of rich guys creating narratives and pushing global agendas to get together to try to tell us, the rest of us, what to think. Yeah, this is where guys like, you wonder what a guy like Ben, what's his name? Ben, he was real important to the narratives of the Obama administration. And basically the guy's a failed paperback writer. He's, what is his name? Ben something. And it's like, you don't want, the neocons suffer from that too. William F. Buckley himself was a action adventure spy thriller plotter. He wrote several. I ought to hunt those down, see what they read like. See if every now and then they have just words you could choke trying to say. Anyone else want to see tons of corrupt Democrats in handcuffs getting perp walked? Just movement. That's all we want. Let's see movement. SpaceX water landings. God, think about the actual scale on that. Wow, looks like something George Powell would do. Look at that thing. What a great tombstone. This is Malice. Malice wants to be a stand-up, but he, I don't think he's got quite the combo of it. He's got the quick mind, but, is he a joke writer? Here he is, Gilbert Gottfried, beloved comedian and family man. 28, 55. He's 2 years younger than me, but he went 3 years ago. Too soon. Yep. I still haven't seen that doc, and I always meant to watch the doc, Gilbert. What's this on? What's she saying? What they don't want you to know, established media and politicians don't want you to know. Well, give me a update. See if I ever update it. Yeah. She's just basically saying this evolution of the New World Order is going to take all our freedoms away in a very methodical fashion. Marco Rubio just schooled George Stephanopoulos. What did he say? Well, take a minute and a half to watch it. This clip from an old CNN interview with President Clinton is worth watching again in the context of why President Trump believes he can trust Putin when it comes to personal assurances and why he may be reluctant to attack him in public. Yeah, I'll have to watch that. I'll open that on a different channel. Piers Morgan seems to be up and down. It's like he's calling Trump an idiot one moment, and then it's like, yeah. Trump dragging his leg. Mar-a-Lago. Dragging his leg. The man's 78 years old. What are you talking about? Dragging his leg. He had his fucking toe skid for a brief second. Look at that. Look at that. They're after the notion that he's becoming elderly and of no use, ready to send to pasture. Boy, they want him out. Boy, they want him out. Get out of our way. We had it all figured out. Tim Burchett says if anyone leaks where the money goes when the Pentagon fails audits, they'd be murdered. Elon Musk says if he were to reveal the real ways Congress gets rich, it's going to get me assassinated. So they're saying expose on the right levels, and you are dead, man. The guys with the juice will get you killed. Time Hercules got pissed and threw a bear into outer space. I remember sitting through this in the theaters. The Hulk, Columbo. Is that his name? Columbo. It's not his name. Ferrigno. So his best friend died. So he gets furious and going to throw a bear into space. Put out by the old Dino De Laurentiis. There he goes. And that becomes a constellation, the bear. I think it's called Ursus. Ding, the bear. Had some awful effects. They just, well, it had some stop motion, I think. You can usually get sanity from the Polish as well. 500 million Europeans are asking 300 million Americans to defend them against 140 million Russians. Yeah, he's saying, you do it. Okay, let's briefly go through some of this. Look. She's also supposedly saying the worst job in the world, though. Get the snakes out of the drawer. I guess if you don't feed them often enough, you can. Oh, milking snakes wouldn't be my job. Okay, that's enough. Let me get to the button. Thanks for dropping in if you dropped in.